You want them to see your worth. You want the person who pulls away, who shuts down, who avoids intimacy, to realize what they're missing. Here's the truth. And I need you to hear me loud and clear. It's not about triggering them. It's about awakening you, because the moment you realize your worth, that's the moment they either rise up to meet you or get left behind. Let's talk about how to do that. Stop chasing outcomes that vanish the moment you get close. Chasing is the art of losing yourself for something that never asked you to. And the pursuit becomes noise when stillness was the signal. Movement without purpose is exhaustion disguised as ambition. Running faster doesn't guarantee you're going in the right direction. You're not behind. You're distracted. The world taught you that motion equals progress. It lied. You don't need more time. You need presence. Stillness isn't stagnation. It's control. In the silence, you hear what the noise kept hidden. Power comes when you stop performing for approval. You're not meant to chase validation. You're meant to embody truth. Chasing blinds you. Standing still reveals you. You're not lost. You're just surrounded by distraction. Every answer you've begged for is already inside you. Your worth isn't over the next hill. It's under your own feet. Stillness gives birth to clarity. Those who stand still move deeper. The future doesn't live in the sprint. It lives in the pause. When you stand still, you face what you've been fleeing. Your peace isn't out there. It's been trying to meet you here. Running is the illusion of escape. Stand still and feel what you're made of. The ones who change the world don't run after it. They root into it. Stillness is presence, and presence changes everything. When you stop chasing, you start choosing. Silence speaks louder than approval. Stillness is where power finds its breath. Your worth doesn't need to be proven through pace. What you seek isn't far. It's hidden by your movement. Sit with the discomfort. It holds your release. The louder the world shouts, the more potent your stillness becomes. You've mistaken motion for meaning. Reclaim that. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your time, your voice, your identity. You don't have to catch up. You only have to wake up. In standing still, you stop serving time and start owning it. You don't need to chase what's already yours. Clarity isn't found in pursuit. It's discovered in pause. You are not behind. You are beneath the surface, waiting. Hustle drained you because it wasn't aligned with you. Stillness invites the truth. Chasing delays it. You weren't made to survive every moment in motion. The world rewards the loud, but it's built by the still. When you stop chasing, life begins chasing you. Your greatest transformation hides in your refusal to rush. Presence is not passive. It's the fiercest power there is. Stillness reveals what the noise drowned. You're not confused. You're just disconnected from your own voice. The more you chase, the more you forget who you are. Everything you want is already available when you stop running from now. You don't need to go anywhere to find everything. Stillness is where direction becomes undeniable. When you stop moving, your soul catches up. You've tried harder. Now try stillness. Your spirit is not exhausted. It's unheard. Every answer lives behind your breath. You are not the sum of your efforts. You are the source of your energy. Stand still and watch the world reorganize around your certainty. Only in stillness do you find the root of real movement. Chasing made you smaller. Stillness expands you. You don't have to become more. You have to become quiet. You are not the runner. You are the anchor. Standing still is the most radical act in a world that profits from your pace. Power is not in pursuit. It's in presence. You've forgotten how to be because you've been taught to stop chasing and reclaim your name, your nature, your knowing. Let the silence rebuild your strength. Stillness turns chaos into clarity. You are not late. You are layered. The rush you feel is a lie. The truth is slow, deep, and undeniable. Stand still and watch how much more clearly you see. Nothing grows in motion without roots in stillness. You don't need direction. You need connection. Rest is revolutionary. Stillness isn't the absence of power. It's the birthplace of it. The world doesn't need your speed. It needs your substance. Don't move until you remember who you are. You didn't come here to chase. You came here to be. The real journey begins the moment you stop running. Mirror their behavior without malice, not to mimic, not to mock, but to master their rhythm so you control the tempo. When you reflect someone's stance, tone, or tempo, you become familiar. And familiarity breeds trust. Even in silence, people are disarmed when they see themselves in you. Not because you're weak, but because you're calculated. To influence someone, first let them see a version of themselves in you. Then slowly show them who leads. Mirroring is silent persuasion, a tactic so subtle it feels like instinct, yet so potent it rearranges power. You don't challenge their nature. You cradle it, echo it, and steer it without them ever noticing the shift. When you reflect without resistance, they drop their armor, and when their guard lowers, your control rises. The goal isn't to become them. The goal is to become them. The goal is to become what they trust. You use their energy against them, not to harm, but to turn the tide in your favor. People trust what they understand. And nothing is more understandable than a reflection. Their tone becomes your tone, their cadence your cadence, and with it, their defenses collapse. You walk at their pace, speak at their volume, breathe at their rhythm, and they mistake that alignment for agreement. Their comfort becomes your weapon, because comfort breeds closeness, and closeness creates influence. You're not copying, you're syncing with intent, precision, and strategic control. When they speak fast, you speak fast. When they lean in, you lean in. And when they soften, you soften deeper. Your reflection becomes their approval, and your presence becomes their mirror. Mike, this tactic isn't loud. It's felt, not seen. And that's why it works. The reflection must never feel forced. It must feel organic, like you've always belonged in their world. Subtlety is strength here. Aggression will expose you, but softness will consume them. You don't need to shout to dominate. You whisper in a language they already speak. Match their emotional frequency, and you'll broadcast your message directly to their core. Control isn't about overpowering. It's about guiding without resistance, and mirroring is the silent hand on the wheel. Even the most guarded minds open to those who speak their internal language fluently. You aren't becoming them. You are guiding them through their own behavior. Mirroring isn't manipulation if your intent is control without cruelty. It's chess, not war. If they're dominant, match their presence, not to compete, but to coexist with influence. If they're timid, soften even more. Make your silence louder than their hesitation. Behavior is a map, and when you trace it accurately, you know exactly where to lead. To redirect, first reflect. To steer a current, you must swim with it before bending it. You remain unseen as the source of the shift. They feel in control, even as they follow your tempo. Never imitate. Align. Never mock. Mold, never force echo. They see you as one of them, and that's the moment you begin to shape them. Mirroring is not submission. It's strategic surrender to win unseen battles. It's the discipline of putting ego aside so you can rise without friction. It's not manipulation, it's mastery. The mastery of human response and unspoken language. You adapt not because you lack power, but because power adapts first, strikes later. Subtle alignment breaks barriers no argument could ever touch. People cling to what feels familiar, so become familiar with power behind your eyes. They lean toward those who move like them. So move just enough to be within reach, but always one step ahead. You create harmony first, then lead the symphony from within. Let them feel heard, seen, known, and in return, they'll follow your lead without realizing they chose it. Their laughter, their pauses, their stance. Absorb it all like a mirror without judgment. When you mirror, you listen with your body, and in return, their subconscious starts to trust. There is no force stronger than someone who seems to understand you without words. That understanding is not always spoken. It is reflected in posture, in tone, in presence. Their brain lights up when familiarity is present, and in that light, you shape perceptio. You don't persuade with pressure. You persuade with presence that feels like home. No resistance arises from someone who thinks you are just like them, and that's when you lead. This is not a game of acting. It's a skill of aligning, reflecting, guiding. They walk away thinking they chose you, not knowing you shaped the path they walked. True control doesn't roar. It whispers in rhythms they already know. You change the course not by force, but by flow. And the flow begins with the mirror. Their comfort is the key, and you are the locksmith, turning it gently with every reflection. To shift a soul, you must echo it first, and in the echo, they find your influence. Mirror them not to flatter, but to forge unspoken allegiance. Every motion mirrored is a silent agreement, and every agreement builds your hold. This is power wrapped in empathy, influence cloaked in familiarity. You take nothing from them, but in the end, you hold everything. Level up, instead of spiraling down, means making a decision in the chaos, not waiting for perfect conditions. When life hits hardest, that's the moment to rise, not retreat. Pain is not punishment. It's the raw material for transformation. Every setback is a disguised demand for you to grow beyond who you were. Choosing to rise isn't easy. It's war against your comfort, your excuses, your limits. The spiral only begins when you believe there's no way out. Leveling up begins when you create one. Strength is not born in ease, but built in the furnace of failure. There's power in standing up one more time than you've been knocked down. You are not broken. You are being reassembled for something greater. Every moment you spend doubting yourself is stolen progress. The next version of you isn't waiting. It's buried beneath every choice you make under pressure. Greatness doesn't shout. It whispers through discipline when no one is watching. You don't escape darkness by running. You become your own light and walk through it. The climb begins when you stop negotiating with your old self. There is no elevator to elevation. You build your own steps with grit and refusal to quit. You level up by outworking your fears and outlasting your weaknesses. Falling is natural. Staying down is optional. Every breakdown is a disguised upgrade if you keep moving. Growth doesn't feel like success. It feels like stretching past what you thought was possible. Even if you're crawling, you're still moving forward, and that matters. The only way down becomes permanent is if you refuse to rise. There is no comfort in spiraling, just repetition of pain. Leveling up is choosing purpose over patterns that don't serve you. You can't outrun your shadows, but you can face them and rise above them. You are not your past. You are your potential. Fear is loud when your purpose is near. Keep going. The next level demands you let go of everything weighing you down. Strength is built in moments where giving up seems easier. You become powerful the second you refuse to play small. You've survived worse. Now it's time to thrive louder. Excuses keep you spiraling. Jexecution sets you free. Silence the noise and choose elevation, even if your legs shake. You weren't made to shrink in adversity. You were designed to rise through it. Progress is a promise to yourself that you'll never return to who you were. The spiral is a loop. Break it by climbing, not complaining. Every second wasted doubting is a second delaying your breakthrough. Pressure can either crush or create. You decide which it will do to you. You rise by making decisions that terrify your comfort zone. Success isn't found in perfection. It's carved from resilience. You don't become unstoppable by accident. You decide and refuse to be moved. One more step, one more fight, one more breath, and you're already above where you fell. The spiral wants you numb. Leveling up demands you feel everything and rise anyway. You were never meant to live in cycles. You were meant to break them. No one's coming to save you, but you're more than enough to save yourself. Choosing to rise isn't a mood. It's a mindset forged in fire. Don't wait for motivation. Discipline will carry you when feelings fade. Growth is painful, slow, and silent, but it turns you into a storm. Your next chapter won't start until you stop rereading your last one. Stop feeding the spiral with your attention. Feed your future with your action. You're not stuck. You're being called higher. You're not losing. You're being trained. You're not alone. Your future self is cheering for you to keep climbing. There's no power in staying the same, only in choosing to rise. What broke you yesterday is building you today. Leveling up demands you let the old version of you die. The spiral is a trap. Leveling up is the escape you create. You are not powerless. You are in process. You've got scars, not chains. They're proof you've already fought battles. Your lowest moments hold the blueprint for your elevation. Rising is an instant, but it's always worth it. This pain, this pressure, it's producing your breakthrough. The spiral is comfort in disguise. Choose growth instead. Leveling up isn't loud. It's consistent. No miracles coming. You are the miracle in motion. Every excuse has an expiration date. So should your spiral. Turn your wounds into wisdom and your pain into progress. You weren't born to blend in with the broken. You were built to break barriers. Each decision today decides whether you spiral or soar. You can't rewrite your past, but you can rewrite your future. The spiral feeds on delay. Take action now. There's no better time to rise than while everything is falling. Let your comeback be louder than your crisis. You are stronger than the storm you're in. When you commit to rise, the spiral loses all power. Speak with power, not pleading. Own your voice like it owns the room. Let your tone declare, not request. When you speak, let certainty flood every syllable. Silence is a weapon, but so is conviction. A hesitant voice betrays a hesitant mind. Authority isn't requested, it's asserted. Power is not in volume, it's in presence. Speak like the outcome is already yours. Confidence doesn't ask for permission. Your words must carry the weight of belief. Do not ask to be heard, command it. When you speak, the air should shift. Let your tone disrupt comfort and awaken attention. Pleading is the sound of insecurity wrapped in words. Power doesn't beg, it builds. Do not shrink your truth to fit someone else's comfort. Speak like your voice is the final word. Own your message like it's carved into your bones. Speak as though the world bends to your certainty. The moment you ask instead of state, you surrender power. Speak like you're the storm, not the raindrop. Pleading waits, power walks in. Don't seek validation, deliver truth. Let your words hit like thunder, not drizzle like doubt. Speak as if there's no alternative, but belief. Your presence is felt through the strength of your statement. Don't dance around the point. Stab it straight. Power is the echo of purpose. You're not hoping to be heard. You're declaring to be remembered. Say it once, but say it like it's law. You don't need permission to be powerful. Speak as if your voice is writing history. When you believe it deeply, the world listens automatically. Authority is communicated before it's confirmed. Drop the tone that seeks approval. Every word you speak is a stake in the ground. Own the space you speak into. Let your voice wrap around the room like iron. Weakness in your voice makes people question your worth. Your tone should not tremble with doubt. It should cut through it. Declare, don't decorate. Every sentence is a sword. Don't sheath it. People follow clarity, not confusion. Speak with the fire of your own certainty. Stop trying to convince. Start commanding. Power is not a style. It's a decision. Don't trail off. Land your words like punches. Speak with the weight of your intention. Let your breath carry authority, not apology. Speak like you're the solution, not the suggestion. You are not presenting possibilities. You're defining realities. Begging steals your value. Owning builds your presence. Cut the fluff, deliver steel. Confidence doesn't waver mid-sentence. Speak from the spine, not from the knees. Let your voice be an anchor, not a question mark. Don't dilute your voice for fragile ears. Speak with the precision of a blade. Let your conviction rise louder than doubt. Never let your tone ask, is this okay? Say it like it already is. Speak with a rhythm that disrupts silence. Don't decorate your power with doubt. Eliminate filler. Inject fire. Speak like the world. Adjust to your words. Don't drop your volume when it matters. Rise. Let your voice challenge the passive and awaken the silent. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be heard. Speak with your chest, your gut, your soul. No softness when strength is required. Speak as if every word shapes the future. Do not pause for approval. Push through with certainty. People respect power, not passivity. Speak in statements, not questions. Leave no room for misunderstanding. Let your voice carve clarity from chaos. Command attention. Don't chase it. Speak with tempo, texture, and truth. Don't fumble for words. Forge them. Speak like you're lighting fires, not lighting candles. Own your message so fully, it cannot be questioned. Speak like you're sending shockwaves through complacency. Pleading is the language of fear. Speak the language of force. Deliver your truth like an arrow, fast, direct, undeniable. You're not negotiating your value. You're stating your purpose. Let your voice end the debate before it starts. Speak like silence is waiting for your lead. Let each word carry the thunder of your intent. Don't downplay your message to soothe egos. Speak like history is listening. Let no doubt infect your delivery. Speak like the ground listens. Your voice is not a whisper in the wind. It's the wind itself. Speak like you're holding lightning, not begging for sparks. Your tone is a weapon. Aim it. Speak with the dominance of truth, not the desperation of need. Don't ask the room to listen. Make the room listen. Speak like there's no room for contradiction. You are not explaining. You are declaring. Speak like power lives in your throat. Don't just say it. Own it. Understand their fear, but don't carry it. They might tremble, but you must stand tall. Their doubts are not yours to own, even if they speak them with conviction. When the world hands you their panic, return it with your calm. You are not born to inherit the weight of another person's limitations. AD? They will try to gift you their hesitation, wrapped in love. Decline it with grace. Their fear is familiar to them, but it should remain foreign to you. Compassion does not mean surrendering your courage. Listen to their warnings, but don't let them reshape your mission. You can hold space for their worry without making it your compass. Don't mistake concern for wisdom. Some advice is just fear in disguise. They may speak from wounds, not truth. Don't let that bleed into your vision. Their fear reflects their journey, not your potential. You can understand someone's pain without letting it rewrite your future. Empathy is a bridge, not a leash. Do not make a home in someone else's storm. Be the lighthouse, not the lifeboat. Witness their anxiety, but walk past it unshaken. Their fear is valid. but so is your fire. But so is your fire. When you absorb their doubt, you dilute your power. Your path requires clarity, not inherited shadows. Feel their fear, then rise anyway. You are not here to shrink for their comfort. Their survival mode is not your destiny. Respect their fear, but don't kneel to it. What frightens them might be fuel for you. See the trembling in their voice and choose to speak stronger. You were made for more than other people's what ifs. The world will hand you 1,000 reasons to hesitate. Choose one reason to move. Courage isn't loud, but it's unwavering. You were not called to be a container for other people's anxieties. Let them carry what is theirs. You carry your vision. And your vision. Some will try to clip your wings because they forgot they could fly. Don't inherit someone else's emotional debt. Protect your mind from secondhand fear. You were given your fire for a reason. Don't let their rain extinguish it. When you know where you're going, don't pause for every voice of doubt. Fear has a loud voice, but your truth is deeper. Their panic is not your prophecy. You owe it to yourself to stay unmoved by what scares them. Now, learn from their fear, but don't let it sit in your soul. You are not responsible for carrying what crushed them. Let their lessons guide you, not cage you. Sympathize with their struggle, but don't repeat their retreat. They may mean well and still mislead you. You can be kind without being tethered. Some fears are inherited. Break the chain. Understand the root, but don't become the fruit of their fear. Their fear was shaped by their scars. Your path is not theirs. Let them speak, but let your purpose speak louder. Don't be a mirror for their limitations. Be a window to what's possible. Every step you take forward silences the fear they tried to hand you. You can't run with weights that don't belong to you. Acknowledge their fear, but answer only to your calling. You can't build legacy with borrowed doubt. They may not see your vision. That doesn't mean it's unclear. You were not made to echo their hesitation. When fear knocks, let courage answer. They will say, be careful, when they mean to stay small. You don't owe your life to their comfort zone. They fear what you are destined to master. Even their love can be laced with fear. Love them anyway, but walk free. Silence doesn't mean agreement. Protect your dreams from their projections. What limited them does not define you. Their fear is theirs to heal, not yours to house. You are not designed to be anyone's emotional mule. Carry your truth, not their trauma. Their perspective is real, but not always right for you. Don't confuse their fears with your fate. Let their doubt pass through you like smoke seen, but not held. You weren't sent here to relive their regrets. Let them be cautious while you be bold. You can honor their story without repeating it. Their ceilings are not your sky. Even those who love you can misread your strength. You are the exception to their rule book of fear. Move anyway, build anyway, believe anyway, believe anyway. Their fear is the echo of their past. You are building a future. It's not cruelty to refuse their chains. It's courage. You do not need to explain your courage to the fearful. When you understand their fear but walk anyway, you free them too. Lead with empathy but blaze your own trail. Let your life become proof that fear isn't final. You are not here to soften your steps for footsteps that stopped. Their warnings are loud, but your conviction is louder. See their fear for what it is, a reflection, not a roadmap. There comes a moment when your silence becomes louder than your begging ever did. When you stop explaining yourself and simply start exiting with your head high. You don't slam doors, you just stop opening them. You realize that walking away isn't weakness. It's the loudest act of self-love you can perform. You finally understand that staying where love doesn't grow is choosing to shrink. You don't need chaos to prove you feel deeply. You don't need to prove anything at all. You've already done enough explaining, enough hoping, enough shrinking to fit into spaces never meant to hold you. You don't punish them. You prioritize you. You walk away not to wound, but to heal. You walk away not because they're evil, but because they're unavailable. You let go not because you stopped loving, but because you started loving yourself. You learn that your worth is not something to be negotiated. You don't wait for them to wake up. You become the one who wakes up to the pain of being invisible in a space you gave your heart to. Wakes up to the realization that love isn't supposed to feel like abandonment. You see clearly now, love should hold, not disappear. It should lean in, not pull away. You recognize that a maybe one da is just another way of saying a not today, not ever. You're done auditioning for someone who can't even see the stage you're standing on. You don't need closure when the silence has already spoken the truth. You stop searching for signs in their mixed signals. The message is already clear. You stop feeding a connection that leaves you starving. You stop accepting emotional breadcrumbs from someone who feasts on your loyalty. You don't chase someone who treats your presence like a burden. You no longer make excuses for someone who doesn't show up. You stop sacrificing your peace for someone else's comfort. You stop explaining your needs to someone who never intended to meet them. You stop trying to be easier to love for someone who never wanted to do the work. You don't beg for reassurance anymore. You become your own. You stop proving your value to someone who never recognized it in the first place. You finally decide that being alone with dignity is better than being together in confusion. You stop romanticizing potential. You stop mourning what could have been and accept what is. You don't wait for them to miss you. That's their journey, not your job. You let them go, not out of spite, but out of wisdom. You don't need revenge when self-respect tastes this good. You don't send a final message. Your absence is the message. You don't cry in front of them anymore. You cry in the mirror and then you rise. You don't break down. You break through. You don't wish them pain. You wish them pain. You wish them growth from a distance. You stop fighting for space in someone's life when you were born to take up space in the world. You release them without needing them to understand why. You walk away with tears in your eyes and fire in your chest. You walk away because your soul can't survive on maybes anymore. You walk away because staying costs more than leaving ever could. You walk away because you're not afraid of being alone. You're afraid of losing yourself again. You stop waiting for them to choose you and finally choose yourself. You stop looking back because what's ahead finally looks brighter than what's behind. You carry the pain, but you carry it like power. You carry the memory, but you no longer carry the weight. You don't regret loving them. You regret betraying yourself to do it. You're not bitter. You're better now. You're not broken. You're becoming. You're not fragile. You're finally free. And when they realize what they lost, you won't be where they left you. You'll be walking taller, smiling wider, and sleeping in peace. You don't walk away to teach them a lesson. You walk away because you finally learned yours. You don't whisper goodbye. You rise with it in your eyes. And in the quiet of your exit, the loudest truth will echo. You are always worth staying for.